After listening to Samira breaking up Ranbir and Mahi's marriage, Vaishali was shocked for a moment. Her mouth was left open. Vaishali looked at Samira and said, "What are you saying, son?" Then Samira said in a psycho tone, "What I will do now, I will take what is mine. I had waited a long time to be the daughter-in-law of this house. It is my dream to be Ranbir's wife. And I will not let my dream break so easily. Even if I have to get rid of Mahi for this." After listening to what Samira was saying, Vaishali was also scared of her daughter. She knew how stubborn her daughter is. She can go to any extent to fulfill her stubbornness. On the other hand, Mahi was looking at old pictures sitting next to her grandmother, which had a lot of pictures of Ranbir's childhood. Mahi picked up a picture and asked, "Grandma, who is this round baby?" Grandma looked at the picture carefully and said with a smile, "This is Ranbir." Ranbir was the most mischievous of all the children in the house. And stubborn too. Once if he was stubborn about something, then he used to fulfill it. After listening to Grandma, Mahi looked at the picture and said with a smile, "He used to look so cute in his childhood, but he is still stubborn. He does not listen to anyone beyond his stubbornness." While thinking this, she was making a strange face. Then a black car stopped in front of the big gate of Kapoor mansion. He honked and indicated to the guard to open the gate. That car was Vedant's. The guard also came quickly and opened the gate. Vedant was about to bring the car inside. But he saw a car standing far away on the road. Then he remembered that this car was standing here in the morning. He had a little doubt. So instead of taking his car inside, he moved it that way. But as soon as Vedant's car was about to reach near that car, the driver of that car quickly drove the car away. Now Vedant's doubt was confirmed. There is someone who is watching over Kapoor mansion. But who? Vedant came back to Kapoor mansion and quickly moved towards the security room. When Rudra saw Vedant going towards the security room, he also followed him there. Rudra asked, "Vedant, what happened? Why are you looking so worried?" Vedant checked the CCTV footage and said to Rudra, "Yes Rudra, someone is watching over us. I just saw a car standing outside the mansion." After saying this, he started looking at the CCTV footage carefully. The car was visible in the CCTV footage. Vedant and Rudra noticed that for the past 3 days, that car was standing there from morning to night. And last night a man was also trying to peek through the back gate. But due to the height of the walls of the mansion, he was not able to succeed. Vedant took a deep breath and said to Rudra, "Someone is trying to keep an eye on us. But why? I don't understand." Rudra got a little serious and said, We will have to talk to Ranvir about this." Vedant asked, "By the way, when is Ranvir coming?" Rudra said, "He has reached Indore. He will reach the mansion in a while." Vedant said, "Let's talk to him later." After saying this, they both left the room. Mahi was preparing soup for Sarika there. Because Sarika didn't feel like eating anything, Sunita came to the kitchen and saw the preparation of food. And asked Mahi, "Mahi dear, if the soup is ready, go and give it to Sarika. And don't force her to drink it. She is not eating anything properly." Mahi smiled and said, "Yes auntie, I am going." Saying this, she put the soup in the bowl and went towards Sarika's room. As she was about to climb the stairs, she felt someone's presence, due to which her heart was feeling a different peace. She slowly turned back and saw Ranvir in front of her. She was stunned. Ranvir also saw the happiness in her eyes. Seeing him, Mahi smiled. Ranvir was coming towards her. Before Ranvir reached her, Samira came running and hugged Ranvir. Samira hugged him and said, "Oh Ranvir, how much I has missed you. I have been eagerly waiting for you." Seeing Samira, Ranvir was shocked. And Mahi's hands got stuck on the tray. Mahi didn't like Samira hugging Ranvir like this. And Ranvir also saw this on Mahi's face. He took Samira away from himself and said, "When did you come from abroad?" Samira said, "I came yesterday." And mom has also come. When Mahi saw Ranvir talking to Samira, she went up the stairs. She felt very bad that Samira was talking to Ranvir like this. Ranvir saw Mahi leaving. He understood that Mahi is angry. Somehow he got rid of Samira and went after Mahi. He also wanted to meet Mahi first. Mahi climbed the stairs and went to Sarika's room. Sarika was lying on the bed. Actually, she was vomiting a lot, because of which she was feeling very weak. She didn't even feel like eating anything. Mahi kept the soup on the side table. And sitting next to Sarika, she said, "Sister, get up. I have brought soup for you." Sarika said lying down, "Mahi, I don't feel like eating at all." Mahi insisted and said, "Sarika, I don't know anything. You sit and drink the soup quietly. Do you want to keep a small baby hungry?" Sarika had to bow down in front of Mahi's insistence. And she got up and sat down. Mahi also started feeding her soup with her hands. Sarika was noticing that Mahi's face was a little down. Gradually, when Sarika finished all the soup, Mahi started taking the bowl back. Then Sarika held her hand and sat her back. Then she looked at her face carefully and asked, "Mahi, what happened?" Mahi first refused. Then, on Sarika's insistence, she told everything that happened below. Sarika smiled and said, "That's it. You spoiled your mood for such a small thing." Then Sarika held her hand and told her, "Look Mahi, Samira is Ranvir's childhood friend. That's why she must have hugged him as a friend. Rudra had told me that Ranvir also sees him as a friend. That's why you don't spoil your mood. And Ranvir has just come back from a journey. Go and make him a cup of coffee." Then she put her hand on his cheek and told him, "Now you are his wife. It is your duty to take care of him." Hearing Sarika, Mahi shook her head in agreement and left the room. When Ranvir came to his room, he started looking for Mahi. But Mahi was nowhere to be seen. He was eager to hug Mahi. Not seeing Mahi, he took a deep breath and went to the washroom. After a while, he came out with a shower. Then he saw Samira waiting for him in his room. He looked at Samira once. And then he went in front of the mirror, stood up and started drying his hair with a dryer. Samira was staring at Ranvir with a lot of desire. Ranvir was wearing a black lower at that time. The eagle tattoo on his back, his strong arms and his muscles were visible. Seeing this, Samira could not take her eyes off him. Ranvir asked while drying his hair, "Samira, are you here? Did you have some work?" When Samira did not answer him, Ranvir looked at him and asked him again, "Samira, I am asking you something." With Ranvir's voice, Samira, who was still lost in her dreams after seeing her hotness, suddenly came to her senses and came out of her mouth. "Yes, Ranvir, did you say something?" Ranvir looked at her and asked, "Where were you lost? I have been asking for a long time. Did you have some work that you came here?" Saying this, he looked back in the mirror and started drying his hair. Before Samira said anything, Mahi brought coffee in the room. When she saw Samira in the room, she started staring at Ranvir with strange eyes. And her hands got stuck on the coffee mug. She went ahead and hit the coffee mug hard on the table. With her voice, Samira was shocked. She looked at Mahi, who was staring at her. Ranvir had seen Mahi through the mirror. And seeing Mahi's reaction, he said, "Now Samira is gone." Thinking this, a smile came on her lips. Mahi, staring at Samira, stood next to Ranvir. Smiling, she hugged him and said, "Oh honey, I missed you so much. What should I do? Now I can't live without you." Ranvir did not expect Mahi's reaction at all. But he was feeling very good. He also held Mahi by the waist and came closer to him. He kissed her on the cheek and said, "Baby, I missed you so much." Samira was shocked to see both of them. Now she was staring at Mahi with devouring eyes. Mahi then looked at Samira and said, "Samira, you are here? What are you doing in our room?" Mahi deliberately said, our room, while emphasizing the word. Samira stammered a little after Mahi. I have come after a long time, so I wanted to spend some time with Ranvir. That's why. Saying this, she started looking here and there. Seeing Mahi with Ranvir, she was getting very angry. But she was barely able to control herself and was trying to make her face normal. Mahi said with a fake smile, oh, but Ranvir wants to spend time with his loving wife. Then Mahi looked into Ranvir's eyes and said innocently, isn't it, honey? Ranvir looked at Mahi and said, not bad, sweetheart. Then he said to Samira, okay Samira, we will meet tomorrow. Now I have to talk to my wife about important things. After hearing this, Samira said, okay Ranvir, I am leaving. See you tomorrow. Saying this, she left the room without thinking. Mahi went and closed the door, and as soon as she turned back, Ranvir pulled her and brought her closer. Mahi was looking into Ranvir's eyes with her hand on his chest. Ranvir asked Mahi while raising one eyebrow, what was all this? Mahi said to herself, nothing, your coffee is getting cold. Ranvir said to Mahi's waist, first answer me. Mahi said, she was staring at you with strange eyes. How can you come in front of any other girl without clothes? And she also hugged you from below. So I didn't like it, that's why. Mahi said this last line while making a pout. Ranvir said while hanging the hair on his face behind his ear, yes, so what? She is my childhood friend and all this goes on in Friends. Mahi said, what if I hug a boy? Mahi had spoken in her ear, but she didn't know that she had aroused Ranvir's anger with this. Hearing Mahi's words, Ranvir's face became dark. He held Mahi's arm in anger and said while grinding his teeth, don't ever do this Mahi, otherwise you will see my side that I never want you to face. Who is keeping an eye on Kapoor mansion? Is Samira going to conspire to separate Mahi from Ranvir? To know more, keep listening to Oh Baby only on Love Pulse Diaries.